Hello everyone, I'm really pleased to see all of you here in such a nice place where you can see Kiev up to horizon. It's our first conference and I'm actively participating in organizing all this. You know, I invited many of us personally. And today I'm going to speak about such a controversial question, where are we moving and how to get there. And I will raise as well questions, what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, and why people should select, why do they try to select between two of them, and what should be done. Ready? So I think that we all agree on some distant future. So how things should work in some distant future. Let's say like 2050. We all expect that payments will work as messaging. When you send a message, you don't think about borders, you don't think about time, you just send it and it appears in the phone of the recipient. It's fast and it's free. It's private, sometimes, and usually you own all the data, and it's great. With payments, it doesn't work. You have to think about regulation, you have to think about borders, about prices, about fees, and everything. So, and how to get to that situation? That's a good question. So, many people have different opinions. When Bitcoin appeared, it looked like a great solution, and it still does look like a great solution. You have a fully digital, instant, private method of payments, where you're supposed to have full control over your funds, right? So it looks really like a good prototype of financial web, which is the network of payments, where you can exchange any information about value and assets. And under Bitcoin, I mean here other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or Monero or whatever you mention, which is a cryptocurrency that will have similar features. Some are more private, some are not, but yeah. Regarding full control, it also has like a drawback. When you have full control of your funds, it means that you can lose them. And many people, I think everybody who ever used Bitcoin lost them, at least once. Many.
Lost the wallet?
Lost, yeah, you lose your Bitcoins completely. You lost your phone, you had your Bitcoins on exchange, and then the exchange disappeared. And you probably heard that approximately $1 billion in value was stolen from exchanges. So it's a lot of money. And people are quite concerned. So expectations from Bitcoin were initially that you will have a payment mechanism that were no fees, there are no banks, no intermediaries, no regulation, no inequality, no unexpected loss. But actually what we see is that it's not that easy, especially about this. And inequality still exists because many people, people who actually promote Bitcoin, they usually have Bitcoin, and usually a lot. That's why they're actively promoting it. So Bitcoin is a basically great mechanism, which is, but right now the use case for it is, it's not that clear, but that's the recent report from Chainalysis. You can find it on New York Times published it. So it shows, this is like amounts of Bitcoin sent during 2016. Majority is trading. And only small piece, very small piece, is related to payments. Some are to dark markets, gambling, very small piece actually to payments, which means that Bitcoin is not used as a payment method yet. It's used mostly in speculative deals and some investment deals, but mostly just trading. it also explains why Bitcoin price is so volatile. When China says, oh, we will do additional audit on exchange, it means that people are selling Bitcoins immediately. That's why price fell from 1,200 to 700 in a few days. And it's not that convenient. But one thing that Bitcoin is great for, even right now, so at some point we will get to the point where Bitcoin will be used for payments more and more. But right now, it is not. Right now it's really good, regardless of the price, as independent settlement mechanism. I don't care about the price of Bitcoin, I can pay with it to my counterparty, it's instant, and I don't have a risk of not delivering it. So here comes blockchain, where people realize, especially financial people, that Bitcoin is sometimes not politically convenient for them. They started to promote blockchain. Blockchain as a technology that allows to do you, allows to do you the same with payments, digital, secure, fast, flexible payments and assets and accounting, like everything. So you probably heard a lot of news about that blockchain will revolutionize this or that, or there or here. But that all looks like bullshit sometimes, because there is no magic. You should work to achieve something. So media was extremely good in raising hype. Could you please switch? So this is the one article, like one screenshot. I will read. Benefits of blockchain technology as specified by Forbes are: a public ledger system, blockchain records and validates every transaction, which makes it secure and reliable. Which basically says not about blockchain, but about Bitcoin blockchain. Which this is true, but it says blockchain technology. The next is all the transactions are made authorized, and the transactions are immutable, and they are prevented from hacking. Can blockchain prevent you from hacking? No, obviously. Blockchain technology discards any need of third party or intermediary. Is it true? Sure enough. And decentralization, and that's why banks and financial institutions are investing in blockchain. Basically, that's all bullshit, because you realize that technology can't help you with these goals. The particular Bitcoin blockchain has these features, but basically when bankers read that, they are thinking about something they want to think, but not about the particular thing. So expectations are high. Reality is nothing. There's no blockchain around. You can't go and see it and touch it and use it, because it's a very abstract thing. And there is still a war, like a media war on the internet. What people should be focused on blockchain or Bitcoin? Some people say, blockchain should be without Bitcoin, like R3 company. Some people say, okay, you should forget about blockchain, you should really focus on Bitcoin. And it's like Mark Andreessen was trying to comment that blockchain without Bitcoin is like online without internet in 1994. And many people argue. I think that the war, like this media war, is nonsense, because it's like comparing C++ and Microsoft Windows. You have a technology and you have a product. So Bitcoin is a product. It's basically it's a currency or asset. You can use it. And blockchain is just an architectural approach to reach consensus between certain set of parties that are independent and don't trust each other. So it's a consensus mechanism plus accounting system, which obviously can be applied to banking and financial industry. So here we come to what are the real expectations of financial people. They all, they hear that blockchain will save the world, and they hear free, full control, fast, secure. But what? What do they actually need? It's actually a question you can try to answer. What is your guess? What do financial people really need?
Sorry.
Control. Profit.
No. They want this, but which thing?
Security. Governance. No governance.
The answer is really simple. If you go to banker and tell him about blockchain, what they are thinking about?
Lines of the law.
First. Okay. They're thinking about infrastructure. They're thinking, how can I get accounting, reconciliation, backup infrastructure for free that works securely, that allows me to do many things, provide functionality to my users. They need infrastructure. And if you think about just startups, why there are so many startups are focused on Ethereum? I found the answer, like it's my opinion. Startups don't want even to think about infrastructure. They want to have some smart contract, really smart. So the smart contract will do everything for them to manage all the infrastructure and servers and issuance and rules of these coins that they introduce. So actually people are looking for software and some model that solves all the problems with infrastructure for them. If you think about internet, because like blockchain can be compared to like TCP internet technology and protocols. On the internet, people need a way to create their website in 10 minutes, just to set up certain colors and titles and run the website. They don't want to think about servers, about TCP/IP, DNS, and whatever. They want to run their website now. That's what financial people also want to have. They want to run their IT systems smoothly, cheaply, and for free. So what is expected as a financial internet? What is expected, like let's say in 30 years? I am not talking about the particular timeline, where every organization will be able to talk to every organization, and your particular wallet that you like will be able to be connected to any bank if there are banks, or asset registry, let's say to land registry or to car registries. So everything will be connected and intercommunicated. So what needs to be done? Two very simple things. First, we need to agree on protocols of communication. It's like TCP/IP, but for finance, HTTP. And the second, base applications and libraries, like software, which is open source and free, should appear, so anybody can take them and use them. Right now, when you start your website, you launch, you take Apache web server, you start it, and that's it. You take WordPress, and you launch your website. And there are plenty of modules for internet shops and etc. So the same should happen for financial industry. Wallets should be free. Banking software should be free, which will lead that processing software will be free. So the whole ecosystem of payments will be the same as messaging right now. Cheap, free, and fast. So how we are getting there? Why I'm talking about all of this? So right now, Distributed Lab is a partner in a company called Attic Lab. We have representatives here, which goal is to build full technological stack for banking system, consumer applications, banking, processing, and central bank software, which should be open source and free. So the project is called Open Bankit. It's online. You can find it openbankit.com. So we're working on this for the whole year. Actually, we released the first version. We are currently doing integration with one bank in Ukraine. It's Alpari Bank. The representatives, like CEO of this bank, will be here today. And we're approaching other banks in Europe or Asia, trying to work on this. I won't advertise too much. You can go and read it on the website. So in Ukraine, what we achieved, actually, the guy who signed these two, certificate papers was supposed to speak before me, Sergei Shatsky from Central Bank, but unfortunately he's ill and can't come. But I will show what we have. So I announced it for the first time. This is a certificate for decentralized processing center of digital assets that we received. Basically, this certificate says that our software is able to work and to process payments and clear accounts within central bank. And the second paper just tells that we are good guys and can do something. So central bank wants to work with us on some projects. That's basically it. I haven't touched the topic of public registries or capital markets where blockchain technology can help, but that's the next step of exploring the financial internet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pavel Kravchenko, founder of Distributed Lab. And we have a little bit of time to take our one question, if there are any. Yes, please. I will even introduce, since I have a moment, Lasha Dadze, please, your question.
Hi, Pavel. Basically, people referring to Bitcoin nowadays, they're more likely focused on it as a standard. It's like a TCP/IP for the financial web. And what do you see kind of major problems that they want to establish it as a major infrastructure, and why kind of it fosters new experimentations like Hacker Club does or R3?
You said it's pointing to Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, people who like are for Bitcoin as a kind of supporting the Bitcoin infrastructure, they refer to it because they see that this chain is already established. It has been like many years. It has major of the stakeholders on it, and it could establish itself as a universal standard. And there's like they have the pros and arguments for that. What type of problems you see it? No.
Okay, so my opinion is that coin is a great invention, but that's
One asset. It's independent from governments and banks, and that's why it's useful right now. So main area of Bitcoin usage is like gray economy. We have to admit that. From the point of the infrastructure part, I think it's not that great, because it basically it was the simplest solution. Bitcoin is the simplest solution for decentralized money. So all the technical solutions were focused on solving one problem, how to make it happen. And that's why accounting model in it's not that great. Like UTXO doesn't really good for many things, UTXO model. And the ways how transactions are signed and created, they also, if you want to describe more assets like stocks and other type of fiat money, or let's say land registry, you have to do real hacks and tricks like covered coins or master coin, but it's really like hacks. They can't work for a lot of time. So it needs to be designed better if you want to cover more assets. So Bitcoin blockchain is one thing. It should be interconnected, let's say, with Ethereum blockchain. It means that they need to have some joint common protocols, and then other currencies and other currencies. That's what Hyperledger is trying to do from IBM, but it's really hard task. They're trying to solve like everything in one project. So, but by itself, Bitcoin blockchain is not designed to support other types of assets. So that's the reality. You could, but it's not that usable. And in some cases, you really need decentralized infrastructures that nobody controls, but you have to pay a lot of fees for that. So currently, the price of Bitcoin transaction is approximately like 5 hryvnias. Right, you can't use it for microtransactions. And if you're trying to build internal accounting system within your organization or group of organizations, you don't need mining, obviously, because everybody is identified, and you don't need to pay such high fees. So you can just take Bitcoin and run the other coin. It's a long answer.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Pavel. Let's give a round of applause. That was the explanation of the progress of financial web. Thank you so much again.